Good evening, everybody, and good evening, Paul. How was your? How are you? How was your
I'm
fantasy
good,
weekend?
thanks. Pretty bad, but I've got a feeling that it's not going to be as bad as yours. So this is
I
like
just
almost like a morale. It's like a Monday night
You
morale
love it,
booster
don't
coming
you?
on
And
chat.
you just hammer me into the ground. It's yeah, it is one of those. A strange old season, strange old week. Just can't seem to catch anything, and I just can't. I just can't seem to work out whether it's me, my picks, my team. But normally, when you're having a bit of a shocker, you look at your team and you can see the weaknesses, or you can see the play, and you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, or maybe I should have had him, or blah blah blah. Maybe Salah potentially, and sorry, let's start on Telegraph just because it's just a joke. It's just a joke.
So what's your
I
weekly
think I
total
forget how
then?
many points I scored this week, and in
Well,
all
it's
fairness, I got two. I've got two to play. That's if Munoz does play. I don't know if he's fit or not.
well, I know that I've had a bad week and I've had 21, but I
Jesus
know
Christ.
but I know that I've got Gladiola and he got 7, and I know you don't have him, so it must be
Ah,
teens, right? Like 16 or 17 or something like that, isn't
nearly 11.
it?
I've got 11 points off 9 players, which it just seems like. And again, it's one of those things. I look at my team and I'm like, do you know what? I've got a bloody not a fantastic team, but a good team. It's a
I was
competitive
being
team.
conservative. I was being conservative when I
I
said
was being
16 or
conservative.
17.
I scored 11 points. I just can't. I didn't even look. I'm getting to the point now where I'm not even looking at my points because it'll ruin my weekend. So I don't look until like we just log on to nip and a half, and I've calmed down and stuff. But yeah, it's just like Raya 2, White 0. I'm assuming he got booked. Gabriel 1. Saliba -2, so I'm on a surplus of 1 through my whole defence. I have got Munoz to play if he plays. If not, it'll stay. Gomez, my top scorer this week with 4 points. No Saka. I've got Eze to play, Haaland 2, and Buemo 2, Solanke 2. That's it. But I suppose you look, well, I don't know. Do you look at the team and think it's all right? It's
Yeah,
all right.
yeah. Well, weirdly, when you run down that team, right? Like maybe the weakness sticks out as Gomez, but I've got him as well, and I think he's the one person that I don't want rid of.
He's exactly that. So Gomez so he's averaging 3.25 points per game, which is not great, but he's got 4.32, 3.4, 3.5. I mean,
Yeah.
for 2.9 million, he's probably one of my top scoring players in the whole season. So yeah, but yeah, I think looking at the game this evening, I think if I'd have had 2 up front, I would have been tempted to do Saliba to Wood. Wood's got 3 home fixtures in the next 4. They're nice as well. I think it's Palace, Leicester, West Ham, and Newcastle or something. And do fancy him to get a couple of goals in that time. But I'm not. I'm on 4-3-3. And then I'm thinking, do I go to like Murillo? I mean, it is a 4-for-1. He might get a couple of clean sheets, but do I really want Murillo like long term? I'm not sure. I suppose I could potentially do Saliba to Murillo, which will free up a lot of money actually to help me get to Palmer later on off someone else. But I can't work out if I'm forcing it or not. Are these the kind of moves which burn through your transfers? I don't know, and struggling to kind of answer that question for myself. What do you think of that little move?
Yeah, I'd be tempted to do it. I moved him on to. I've got him as well. I moved him on to Lewis yesterday, which I only got 2 points, but Lewis is only 3.5 million, so I thought that could be a longer term move and just sit with him in there. Even though you say he only returned 2 yesterday, and I think you're right on the forwards. I've got the same forward line as you, and Mbeumo's got 2 nice home fixtures coming up, so I ain't taking him out. Then Solanke's got Ipswich at home, Palace away, Ipswich at home. I might consider moving him. He might be my make weight to Palmer at some point, but now I've got enough money to do it. So I think I'm with you. I don't think I'd be making any moves tonight.
You don't think? You said you would. If I
Oh,
go to Murillo.
sorry. take it back. Apologies. I wouldn't make any moves because I know with that plan I can make the money to get to Palmer. Whereas if you're downgraded to Murillo, you get to Palmer. Sorry.
How much is Palmer?
5.9 or
5.9. I think I can afford him then if I do that. Let's have a look. Midfielder. It's his ownership. Oh, he's only 5.8. 2.3. I can do I can do Eze to Palmer. If I do Murillo, if I do Saliba to Murillo.
And with Chelsea playing Thursdays, Thursdays, they're always playing Sundays, so you can
get the extra game out of Eze as well.
I'm
stuck with Munoz then. I don't know. I probably will do that, but I just feel like I'm going through transfers needlessly almost at the moment, and that's another 2 transfers. Do we down to 33 then?
Did you get rid of McLean? You must have got rid of McLean.
Oh my god, I clean forgot about that. I forgot. Well, he went off injured, didn't he, last week? Sorry,
so you got the season total of what, 3 points out of him or something. Then they go and keep a clean sheet the game that he comes back in.
And they're going on a nice run. I was contemplating taking either Mikalenko or Munoz, and the only reason, both of them were injured or flagged, and Mikalenko was just like 0.2 more. That's the only reason I took him out. But he's been injured a lot of the season. Everton have been absolute gash. And then he comes back and like steadies the ship and gets a 7-pointer. So
I believe you got 11 points.
Praying for.
I'm looking at some of the leagues I'm in, and like, the folk have got like 30 or 40 points, and I'm thinking,
of who? Yeah, Salah.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Salah's got 10, so I get that, but who else? Like,
yeah, because maybe Watkins 7, but even like things like Trent and stuff like that only got 2 points the weekend. So I'm thinking of like popular players that scored well, and can't think of any. But I mean, I look back and do I regret making the transfers I made to make that Arsenal block? No. I think like that's
their run was insane. They had Southampton at home, someone else at home, Bournemouth away. So I built that block with that in mind, exactly the same as you. And they have got a fantastic run after game week 12.
Yeah, I'm not moving. Well, Saliba, like I've taken Saliba out just on that basis, but I'm not moving another 2 for sure.
I might get Murillo in. I think if it was just one move in isolation, I probably wouldn't. But because it frees up the money to get to Palmer, it's kind of I don't know whether it's just like confirmation bias. Probably is, but I don't know. Windy in the chat, it's been a tough week. My best score in TFF was 34. Oh, yeah, I feel for you, Windy, with the other teams in the 20s. And Sean in TFF, both Anderson and Saliba red card have brought them in. Oh, Sean, that's got to hurt. It's got to hurt. Keep a lid on the anger. Remember, in Telegraph, the leagues are won in the second half of the season, not the first half. But yeah, any other kind of general musings on Telegraph before we move on?
We were going to start doing who we want to think about as top 3 for the following week for potential transfers in, and I think we're both so demoralised that we've not bothered thinking about it.
Murillo.
Yeah.
No, I think you have to have your eye on Palmer, just in terms of any transfers being made, assuming we're going to keep Haaland and Saka and like a couple of Arsenal defenders, maybe. I think Palmer's one may want to build towards. Any other players? I do like Wood. I would do the Wood move if I could. I really think that he's got a chance of scoring a few goals in his next few games. 4-for-1 over Saliba, and he can move him on then to someone else.
I would consider that if I didn't have those. I'd consider if I didn't have a front 3, and 2, like the short-term fixtures for the 3 strikers that we've got the same forward line are too good, and with the view that I can use one of them to move off onto Palmer anyway. So I think, but agreed. I've got Wood and FPL, which is probably a nice segue into the next update.
It is indeed.
You must have beat me. You must have beat me in this.
I doubt it, mate. Honestly, just like, well, we both got Saliba. I know we both got Saliba. I don't think I beat you. I had a massive red arrow for a change. So, who was your
Have you got Wood?
Yes, I have got Wood. Who Are you? Firstly, are you in the cartel? Are you in the Saka in the no group?
No, I'm getting Rico Lewis's 2 points off the bench for Saka. So, although I just informed you just as we were going on air that Son got his assist removed again, so he'll lose 4 points, I think, 3 for assist, 1 bonus.
Oosh. Yeah, that's not good.
No, I saw that you moved to Foden, so I'm suggesting you're not in the cartel either.
Oh no, well no, I made the move at like 2 or 3 minutes to 11 o'clock, and I was just in all my, in all the different kind of groups, just trying to see if anyone had any kind of reliable leak at all, and there was none. But I could see, because I'm in one of the groups where they basically track what all the streamers are doing, like Andy and Raptor, and they all track what they're doing, and they were saying that they're thinking of all selling, and that was what I wanted to do it anyway. Again, it's like it's confirmation bias. I wanted to do the move anyway. Saka to Foden.
Much do I need to pay to get into that group?
What's that? Pay? Oh no, it's not. Oh, it's not. No, it's basically just.
I need to get made. I need to become a made man. Is that what's?
That's what it is. That's what it is. But yeah, I did Saka to Foden at 10:58 or something. As did lots of other people did Saka to Foden. But more did Saka to Son. So yeah, there'll be some very high-profile managers cursing their luck this evening. But I did, again, it's odd though. If I had done nothing, I had Rodgers first on my bench, 6 points. But I did have Foden's 4, so I can't complain too. And I've got Foden in place for next week. And I do think actually the fact that Foden was benched may make people a little bit nervous about bringing him in next week. Whereas Foden could go berserk against Southampton. Man City could go berserk, right? They could score 4, 5, or 6 in that game. So I don't think it's the worst outcome to come on, get an assist, and the kind of the sentiment cool on him a touch going into the weekend. But yeah, how many points did you get?
I'm on 22 with Wood to play. Have you got 21? Please say you got 21.
I got 20 with Wood to play. I did 2 moves. I took out Calvert-Lewin to Solanke, and I did Saka to Foden. But yeah, Saliba's minus. I don't even know. I get -3. I didn't know you could get -3 in FPL.
Because he only played the minimum minutes, right?
Oh, he didn't get the extra points.
Oh yeah, you still get. I forget. You still get the minus points for the
goals as well. Triple whammy, that, isn't it? So yeah. But again, I look at my team, right? I looked at my team this week. I was really excited going into it. Okay, Flecken. I'm not excited about Flecken, but he scored 4 points, so he was my top scorer for the week. I was a bit torn who to bench out of, I've got Saliba and Gabriel, Trent and Lewis, or Rodgers. I benched Rodgers, obviously the wrong one, but you're talking a few points there. I went in with a back 4, where I brought Johnson, Foden and Buemo, Wood, Solanke and Haaland. Again, I just think that is that's a solid team. There's not much I would do to improve it.
2 Spurs players played for a team that won 4-1 and both played over 60 minutes and
Johnson played 90, Solanke played like 70 something, and yeah, the 2 best attackers got nothing between. Have you got any Spurs attackers?
I've got the same.
You've got the same 2, yeah. So
yeah, I brought in Johnson. I had 2 frees, I only used 1, so I've got 2 going into this week. I'm not sure what to do. I've obviously still got Saka as well, so I will likely move him on to someone. I'm not sure yet. Maybe Son appeals to me more now that he's had the 4 points removed to potentially bring him in.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the reverse psychology.
Yeah, so does it feel like I'm like 1 week behind, if you like? So maybe I'll do that because I really like that Ipswich at home fixture.
Yeah, definitely.
Following week, so I can do that for free, obviously, and then still have 1 spare. I might just bench Saliba this week. There's no defenders that I want.
No, ain't Norrie, but I think it's a week early, isn't it?
Yeah, it's away to Brighton. Yeah, exactly. So
yeah,
I think I'll leave that as well, and just play with Trent, Lewis, and Gabriel at the back.
Yeah, I think I'm rolling this week. I've got, again, just looking at my team for this week now. I mean, Flecken's crap, but they are home to Ipswich this week. But got a good team. Rodgers has got a good match this week, home to Bournemouth. Yeah, I've got a good team. I won't be making a transfer this week, and then I'll have 3 going into next week. And I know Norrie and Cunha are both sort of on the menu, but obviously wait to see what happens there. But either Trent or an Arsenal defender to Norrie will free up a lot of money for me, and then just see. But I'm just hoping these next few games now, like I've got triple Man City already. Lewis, Foden, Haaland, Slanky and Johnson have got Palace. Leicester, Woods got Leicester, and Buemo and Flecken have both got Ipswich. Again, like Rogers home to Bournemouth. You couldn't ask. If I was, even picking free hit team, there wouldn't be much I would change from my team. Just not needing the points. So it sounds like you're above me. I don't know if you're above me in FPL. Yeah, you probably are. I'm on
3.1 million. Hopefully I can make up a couple 100,000 places with Son's 4 points getting removed.
Oh yeah, that's a good shout. Same. So you're above me in that as well. Before we move on,
I know I'm above you in Dream.
Before we move on to the format where you've been absolutely smashing me. So how was your dream team weekend?
Somewhere between okay and good. I think 60 points. Banana and goals. I was close to taking out for Martinez, but I made different moves. Lewis, Vardiol. I brought in Digne for Trent, which has worked out well so far. And then I moved Onana to Foden, which hasn't worked out as well, but I'm pretty happy with.
You're playing the week,
You're
playing the week in Sparta. That's a nice fixture for
Rogers 8 and Buemo, who I've kept. I know he's only got a single. Got 6 points, which again I was actually pretty happy with because I didn't catch the second half of the football when I seen that it was 2-1 Man United, and I knew at half time that Buemo hadn't been involved. I was fearing the worst, and it was only because it will affect his, because he's not playing midweek, it'll affect his price. So the fact that he got 6 points was pretty good. Saka not playing, I have zero care about because
he's so high.
90% owned. He's 90% on the top 1,000. I'd argue that his effective ownership is higher based on those that are playing goal boosters than amongst maybe those that I'd probably be competing with in mini leagues towards the end of the year. So I don't really care if he plays against Shakhtar either, to be honest.
I did read that both he and Timber missed training today as well, so it sounds like I'd be surprised if he makes it, to be honest.
Solanke got 3 points. He might be on the chopping block for me this week. And Haaland captain, who everyone's got again. I've got Haaland as captain, and I want him to blank against Sparta Prague tomorrow because, again, his effective ownership will
be...
On
the goal boosters,
Yeah. And then Salah up front, who I saw a couple of people on Twitter had removed.
Who, Salah?
Yeah, so that'll hurt. I can just try to play the fixtures maybe over the next couple of weeks. So, I'm pretty happy with my week. How it's went so far. What about you?
I got 62, so I've beaten you so far, but I was really pissed off with Matt. You know when you just have these like digs in the gut? You just like, in the Spurs game, it was 1-1. I've got Maddison, basically. He got the assist, and then he was brought off, but it was tactical apparently. So I suppose one part of the fact that it's tactical means that if his place in the first 11 isn't assured in the league, he could potentially play Thursday, which would be nice. But he's on the chopping block for me. So I've got Martin. I did sells to Martinez, which it's been long overdue. Got a nice ride of Martinez, 7 points, lovely penalty save. Porro 5, which I was quite pleased. He was on 7. I think he lost a couple of bonus. Lewis and Gvardiol, so I've holding them, and they're nice. Johnson, Rogers, Saka. I've got Maddison, who's he's done well for me actually, but I think because he was brought off with a tactical switch, and he hasn't been playing on the third. I don't think he's played either Thursday. I don't think he might go for me this week to fold. I have got some money in the bank actually. I'll say that I've only got 1.3 in the bank. And then Solanke, Haaland and Salah. So I haven't really thought much about my moves ahead of next week. But Maddison to Foden, assuming, I don't know how much Maddison is now. Maddison's 4.6, so I think I get to fold with 1.3, can't I? So that's a nice, easy swap there. And then the other change, not really really sure. Let's have a look. I know next week is Carabao, isn't it? So it's going to be.
You'll do Solanke, Tim Buemo.
I might do. I think it depends. Yeah, Slanky 2 on Buemo. I'm not sure though. It's very well. Ipswich and Sheffield. Was that Sheffield United or Sheffield Wednesday? Not that it matters.
Wednesday.
Might do it.
I'd said before Brentford had been rotating the full team in the Carabao, but with the view that you can get a place in the quarterfinals, maybe he starts going, and the fact that their league form's been great and they're not really at risk. I'm not sure
The only
what he'll do.
the only thing is if he if he does well, you get the points obviously, but then you're not really improve. I don't like playing like 1 week plays because you're not going to keep him. If he does really well, you'd be tempted to keep because he'll go up 0.2, 0.3. He's away to Fulham, which is a hard game nowadays. So would you, if he went and scored 20 points, which would be a great return rate over 2 games, would you then be tempted to hold him, or would you definitely stand the week after?
If I didn't have anything else concerning, i.e., point three hits or players that were injured or whatnot, I probably would still take him out.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's definitely a 1 week move. Yeah, you are right. It purely depends on the state of your team, doesn't it? At the moment, apart from Madison and Solanke, I mean, Solanke I'm okay with. He could play Thursday, get a couple of goals, and all of a sudden, the whole thing changes, don't it? So, other than that, though, I think, again, I've got like a pretty good team. I don't think I've got any massive misses. I missed the Trent boat, but now people have moved off him anyway, so I don't have to get him now. I have got a lot. What's that?
Do you think that captaincy is up for debate in Dream Team next week? Pep had said that he's going to, I can't remember his exact words. It was something along the lines of he was going to forgo the Carabao Cup and play a fully changed 11 or something like that. Don't quote me verbatim, but
yeah,
it's like with then Haaland in theory having a single, whilst it's the best fixture in the league. It'd
be a lot.
Is that a max captain option next week?
I think it is, but I think you're pinning your hopes on Mbeumo there, aren't you? Because I don't think there's anyone else. Because you guess a lot of the teams would.
Could Liverpool play twice potentially? I know Arsenal.
Yeah, they got Arsenal and then Brighton away. They're 2 hard games. I don't think so personally. I just think, I think Haaland for that week. I get, I get the premise of what you're saying, and I would think if the fixtures were a bit easier, or there was another team or two guaranteed more games, then potentially. But I'm just not sure there will be. I feel there'd be a better opportunity. I was supposed to play my goal booster this week, and my kids' football is just killing me at the moment. Saturday mornings, I completely forgot again. I checked the team this time, as in check my team and check my captain. But obviously, because I'm just walking on the pitch and trying to look what's going on with the football, and it's completely off at the moment. I forgot to do my goal booster, but I think in hindsight, I'm trying to think how many goals I had. I had maybe 3: Gvardiol, Rodgers, and Salah. Is that it? So at the moment, it's not that bad. It obviously depends what Haaland does midweek against Sparta Prague, which is a pretty good fixture. So,
any Man United players of interest? I know that, based on how you're thinking, possibly not.
Not really. No, not.
I'm half tempted to go back to the well on Garnacho.
Playing well.
I've got a lot of flexibility in the moves that I could do this week, and I think largely I'm going to play the rises, because I've got nothing else to do, and I don't like the thought of doing nothing and burning, you're burning 1 essentially to game 1. I don't really like the thought of
I don't like
that. And I've already got Mbeumo in place. I've already got Foden in place, which I think will possibly be the 2 most popular transfers in this week. Could be wrong, and therefore it seems like I'm a bit set, and therefore I can afford to do 2 luxury-ish moves, but bear in mind the players I'd bring in I'd probably be European players anyway, so I can keep them a week longer. Knowing that I'll probably take them well out.
Have you not got a spot in your team you're not happy with? Like one spot, like third defender or keeper, or?
Well, I've got Digne in defence, and
he looks good. He looks fine.
For his price, he's good. Right. Yeah. Onana isn't great. I'd probably prefer Martinez. But I reckon Onana plays twice next game week and Martinez only plays once. But did Onana play against... in fact, he maybe didn't play against Barnsley. No, he didn't. So maybe... But now they're playing Leicester, and it's a more difficult
Yeah,
fixture.
definitely. Is this a no? No, it's not the quarterfinals, is it? It's the
It's the round before
yeah,
last 16.
last 16 round. Okay.
So there's a bit of flexibility there. Players that I am considering: Garnacho, Martinez. If Porro smashes it against AZ, he's going to get a 0.2 or 0.3 rise. I might just consider moving to him as well, albeit Dina's 2 fixtures are Bournemouth, Crystal Palace. Does he play them both? Maybe he only plays one. I had initially thought maybe I'll bring back Eze, but I don't think I will do that, knowing that then I'd want to make a beat putting him and Mbeumo back out straight away again. So probably not my third option. Yeah. So Solanke to Garnacho, and then I might end up going back to Solanke the following week.
That don't make any sense, mate. I'm sorry. That doesn't make any sense. You're just burning transfers there. There must be something else you can do in your team. You can't just go back and forth. Like, I think that's well, you can, but I just think that's just a waste of transfers.
Does it really matter if I'm getting the gains every time that I'm doing it, and I've got nothing else pressing in my team, knowing that then I get the recycle and get the two transfers the following week?
But just think how much you wanted Solanke last week, and because he's blank now in one game, it's like, I'm getting rid.
I've had him 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, he's done well for you, hasn't he? He's done well for you.
He's done okay.
Okay, fair enough.
But it's that whole Spurs playing in Europe, rotating in Europe, and now that Richarlison's back.
That is a good point. I'll give you that one.
So that's where some of my thinking is lying as well. Like, we'll even play against Man City at home in the Cup next week, and then they've got the European fixtures where I think that Richarlison maybe plays the centre forward role. So that is on my mind, and I want to build up the money because I want Palmer, and I don't want to forgo Foden or Saka, Haaland or Salah, and then have it that way as well. I'm definitely not locked to it, and I know that once I watch Man United for 20 minutes, I'll regret my decision. And if I went with one of their players, I fully accept that. I'm absolutely cool with that. But that is where just some loose thoughts. Whatever happens midweek, I'll play massively into it because, as I say, I think that I'll be factoring price changes heavily into my decisions this week.
Viney in the chat has put, rumour has that one of Foden's children's been in hospital, hence the omission and slow comeback. I suppose that would make sense. I was chatting with a friend on the weekend just about, I just don't understand the whole Foden thing. How can you go from player of the year to just barely getting in the team, especially when Roy is injured? That would make sense if that was true. And he also says, the City fan, I can't see Haaland starting versus Spurs in the Cup. We'll see. I mean, he's playing 90 every game at the moment. He is fit. But even if he came off the bench, he could do some damage against that Spurs defense. You don't like the Spurs fan. I hate to say it, but Udogie at the moment is just a liability. He's all over the shop. I just don't. He's just
it was wrong side of the ball for the opener.
Yeah, and he was at fault for at least one of the goals. In the match against Brighton as well. One that just hit him and stayed, and then he was out of position for the other, and just, he's, as much as I like him as a player, as much as I think he's going to be really good, I think he needs, I don't know, a bit of time off or something. I don't know, just get someone a bit more solid back there. But, any sort of tips for the coming week in any form, I suppose, Paul? What players? I suppose I'll just start off, and this and this is a very generic thing. I do probably not in Dream Team, but I think Nori is going to be really popular in both FPL, and he's not a bad option in Telegraph either. I don't think. Let's just have a look how much. I don't even know how much he is. Let's have a look how much he is. Nori, he's classed as a defender. He's 2.9 million. I think that's pretty good. He's only 1% owned, playing very advanced. Wolves fixtures, for those who haven't seen them, probably a week early this week.
Maybe not for Cunha.
Maybe not for Cunha, but Wolves fixtures, if we just look at the long run, so they're top for the next 8. Hang on, let's have a look. I think it goes on. It does. Oh my goodness. It just goes on and on. It's crazy. So they go Brighton away this week. Then they go home to Palace, home to Southampton, away to Fulham, home to Bournemouth, away to Everton, away to West Ham, home to Ipswich, away to Leicester. And then they got Man United and Tottenham, which you could argue are good games, sort of, from an attacking view, as you say, with Cunha. So all the way up till gone past Christmas. And even then they've got Forest, Newcastle. And then away to Chelsea. So up to Christmas from now, Wolves look really good. So I think Aït-Nouri and Cunha are the two. Strand Larsen's minutes, he played 70 minutes in the 2 games prior to this weekend, but it was Cunha that came off earlier this weekend. Obviously, it's against Man City, so it's hard to read anything into it. But they're the 2 players I'll kind of start the week off with. Opening bids, Cunha and Aït-Nouri. Anything to add at all, mate? Sorry to put you on the spot.
I guess if Foden was starting against Southampton, pending the format, then he's definitely going to be of interest. I do like Forest's fixtures. You mentioned Chris Wood, that you can go early tonight and Telegraph if
really nice.
they're doing that. I think that's a sound
He's
move.
He's playing on Friday as well, so you actually get a 2-for-0 for Wood over. Not that massively matters, but you get a 2-for-0 for Wood over every other team. So you could even do a hop in and out if you wanted.
Yeah. And there's nothing else that sticks out massively.
No, I agree. Just having a quick look at the fixture list for the next few weeks. I know United's fixtures improve, so Brentford's fixtures are still pretty good for the next. I'd say Visser potentially. He's back. Could be one to have a look at. Maybe an FPL. They're home to Ipswich next week. So Ipswich, Fulham away, Bournemouth at home, Everton away, Leicester at home. So these next 5 for Brentford. If you haven't got Mbeumo in TFF or FPL, I'd probably look to get him in personally. Visser could be a decent alternative as well. And yeah, hold Everton defenders. Just as I take out Michaelenko, but Everton now embark on, they obviously kept clean sheet on the weekends. They embark on a really, really nice run of fixtures now. Whereas Newcastle and Liverpool's next 2 games, they're really difficult. Away to Arsenal, home to Brighton. I fancy them to concede in that. Home to Villa, fancy to concede in that. Away to Southampton, City and Newcastle. They've got a bit of a run. Liverpool, a bit of a tough run, and then Everton after that, which is going to be a tough game with it being a derby. So, but yeah, Brentford and Wolves, I think are the 2 I'd look at over the next few. Hopefully, Fleck can get a couple of clean sheets in FPL. Have you got Flecken?
Yeah,
you have.
Yeah. And I can't get Visser because I've got the backup Brentford goalie. So, not that I prefer Cunha over Visser.
Same.
The longevity of that run, like you've just highlighted there. So
crazy.
Right.
Diraj asks, what is with Madder's first half? What is it with Madder's half time off performance? Or someone went down in the locker room. Don't know. I don't trust Mirror Football News. All we know is that Anne just said it was tactical. He brought on Sarr, so we don't know whether they had a bit of a falling out or whether it was just tactical to try and shore the midfield up a little bit. But we do know they went on and scored 3 goals in 7 minutes or whatever it was straight after. So,
and Kulusevski's arguably been Spurs' player of the season.
He is on fire.
In the middle as well.
He's on fire. I agree.
Position he played for Juventus prior to signing for Spurs as well.
I suppose the only thing I would add as we go into the next few weeks, I think it's game week 12 when Chelsea's fixtures really turn. So just maybe have a think about when you use your fixtures. Like I'm probably going to do Trent to Aït-Nouri either this week or next. I'm not 100% sure yet, but part of the reason I'm doing that is to release some funds so I can get to Palmer, because Palmer's looking just absolutely insane this year.
But that's what I mean about. I think that whilst you could argue that budget's not been super important in Dream Team yet, that at that point in time, if a few of the big hitters come into form, when you go back into the league, knowing that they're going to be playing, all the players, Palmer, going to be playing twice a week, it's the that's the time that you want to get them in.
And also, up until this point in Dream Team, it's been easy to pick out a couple of enablers like Rogers, and people like that. But Rogers has shot up in price now. He's like 3.5 if you've missed him, which I know a lot of engaged managers are on him, but it's gonna be really hard actually to find a real enabler. I know Kelleher is 2.3, but the fixtures are not nice for Liverpool, as we just said. So he can do.
He's unlikely to get a rise this week now because he only got 2 points yesterday.
Exactly that. So he's probably the only like massive enabler left who I can see. But all these big players, even like the Embuemos, the Madisons, the Johnsons, they're all going up into that 4 million bracket now. So in a few weeks, it's going to be difficult to get to all these players. So I think playing the rise is sensible for you, Paul. Like you mentioned the moves earlier. Like I'm bringing in 2 players that you've already got, so I can't talk. But I get it. I don't really like wasting transfers. Then if you're gaining, you can gain up to 1 million in 2 moves, right? Because if the 2 you're bringing in at 0.3 and the 2 going down at 0.2 down, that's 1 million over your rivals. So, JC has put Rogers is only 3 million. I thought it was more than that for some reason. I thought he was 3.5, but yeah, he's still gettable then. He's still he's still gettable.
Kulusevski seemed to go up 0.3 and then down 0.3 week after week after week.
Yeah. He's very hit or miss, isn't he? But on form, as you say. Okay, mate. Leaderboard. Good stuff. Leaderboard. How we look? Oh, I don't even want to look. I can't. I think if I try and scroll down to my rank, my mouse will run out of battery. So
you're 41st out of 53. I'm currently 22nd. Running down the top 10. Scott Harris is in 10th. Gavin Shirley in 9th. Carl Bennett in 8th. Connor Tobin in 7th. Alec Wilcox, who is first in 2 of the games. Dream Team.
Wow, that's insane.
Telegraph's letting him down, is in 6th. Dan Cox, who doesn't think 3 points is enough for a penalty save.
Yeah, I saw that.
Steve Cheeks in 4th, Clive Fisher in 3rd, Johnny Curry in 2nd, and Dream Team Tonics, Ben Lee is out in 1st.
Johnny, sorry, go on.
I was going to say, I didn't realise this until now, but Mike has put hyperlinks. Maybe this has always been here and I've just never noticed it. He's put hyperlinks over the positions. If you click on it, it'll take you.
Yeah, on FPL and Dream Team, innit? Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know that already? Did you?
He did it last year. I don't think he did it at the start of this year, so it may be new. JC Johnny Curry is in the chat. He's having a stormer, and yeah, I was having a quick WhatsApp chat with Ben Lee on Friday or Saturday, and he was asking about the booster. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And he's done it, and I forgot on the Saturday morning. So apologies, Ben. I forgot my part of the bargain.
Maybe, I guess, if he has Captain Haaland, because I can see it from here. If
Haaland gets a couple, I think it'd be worth it. I do. Yeah. But yeah, well played, everyone. I'm glad. I was looking for you because I did see I was 41st. So I scrolled all the way down to the bottom first. Do you ever do that there? I don't know. I can squint. I go up 40, 50 second, 50, and just kind of go like that, edge up, and then I don't see him. Because my name is really long, I can normally squint and blur my eyes. I can normally then see where I am, even though I can't see the letters. Anyway, 41st. So I'm glad, and I immediately went to the top 10 to see where you were, assuming you were there or thereabouts. So I was quite pleased in a childish little bitch way to see you were down in 22nd. Just call out a couple of people. Last year's winner, James Ingram, finding it very, very difficult at the moment. He's only played his wild card in FPL, in all fairness. Ian Parron is 37th. Ollie Poole, 32nd, Hub Editor. Arwin, who got off to a stormer last year, is 26th. Simon Ingram, who finished 4th last year, is 23rd. Dan Sherwood, 17th.
Ian McKenna's a good multi-fantasy player and 4th. Most of them are.
They all are. Well, you look at every player and you think, wow. Dan Sherwood, we know is an excellent all-round player, is 17th. He's quite nicely poised there. And Simon Davis, I think he was in the top 4 last time we spoke. He's slipped down to 12th. But again, these are all good players. And Dan Cox having a storm of a season. About time, Dan. Up to fifth and playing really, really well. So yeah, well played, everyone. And yeah, we'll be back next week, mate. Back next week.
Yep.
We're back next week. Yep. Good for next week. Hopefully you'll be. What's my target? I'm 41st now. I've got Wood to play tonight in FPL, and I feel I've got a good team for next week. I'll actually have 3 players in Telegraph as well, because I think I am going to do that Salabra to Murillo move. So I hope Munoz plays. That would be a kick in the. Actually, the teams are out, or should be out, shouldn't they? Just have a look if Munoz is.
We've got another 5 minutes, I think, to wait.
I thought. Oh, is it 8:15? Or
it's only 6:40 now.
Yeah. It's an hour and a half nowadays.
I thought it was an hour and 15.
No, hour and a half. The teams are not. They are now announced. JC's put 4 mins. I'm pretty sure they release now an hour and a half earlier, aren't they? But
I thought it was an hour and 15. They used to do it an hour, and now they do it an hour and 15.
No, I'm like
and that's why they changed. And that's why they changed all the cutoff times to an hour and 30 on the FPL.
Oh, maybe you're right. JC has put 18:45 4 mins as well, so you're probably right. So yeah, we'll see if Munoz, Murillo, and Eze. I mean, that's hardly. It's not very exciting, is it? Fuck's sake.
That's 1-1.
Jesus.
That's 1-1.
Let's go one. Exactly.
And Callum Hudson-Odoi scoring. That's that outcome.
Yeah, I'm not even going to score like. I could 6 points would be like the average. I bet you only score like 4 because there'll be some random booking or like Murillo own goal, then a red card, and I think if that happens, I'm just gonna. I don't know what I'm gonna do if that happens, mate. That's all it. I don't know what that's gonna do. Anyway,
have a good week.
And you, mate. Speak to you next week.
Yep.
Nice one. Thanks all for joining us in the chat. Really appreciate it. Cheers all.